Welcome back. This is Practical Manifesting for Busy Women. My name is Kim Mazzella. This is a podcast designed for busy women who want to live lives as conscious creators rather than reactors to life. So I had an interesting week this week. I put out a podcast and in it I was pretty raw and real about my story, and I got some pretty interesting responses. Most of the people that I was interested in hearing from did feel like it was very helpful to them to understand where I've come from, but I did get some naysayers. And one of my favorite responses was someone who told me that those who believe that you create your own reality are delusional. And I thought it was really interesting, and I really wanted to talk about this subject because this is something I faced my whole life. As a person who has been studying A Course in Miracles for my whole life, I've been told that I'm going straight to hell. As someone who studies universal law and teaches universal law, and someone who teaches chakra theory, I'm constantly being told how I'm woo-woo, delusional, and I need to go get a life. And that's okay. The way A Course in Miracles would describe it is like this. The more light you shine, the more you attract those other lights, but as easily you attract darkness. There is a darkness in this world. I'm not going to say this is a world of just love and light. This is a world of contrast, and there's love and there's fear. And if you want to put yourself out in the world, you're going to have to see both. But I want to respond to if you believe that you create your reality, you're delusional. And this comes straight from A Course in Miracles. It says this: in my defenselessness, my safety lies. I talk about it all the time. The second you go to defend yourself, what you're doing, according to the Course, is keeping attack alive. If someone says to you something and you disagree with them and you get in the fight about disagreeing with them, now, that doesn't mean you can't respond, and it doesn't mean that you can't speak your truth again. But if you decide to defend yourself, there is a part of you that is immediately aligning with your fear and not with your love. So if you want to be out in this world and you want to be a conscious creator, just assume people are not going to agree with you. They're going to try to talk you out of it. Actually, the world is designed to keep you from doing the things that would make you really joyful, because the world is designed to keep you in a fog about who you really are. And we're starting to become conscious, and that's okay. And the thing is, I don't want to be angry about those people who think that I'm delusional. And I don't want to go to a place where I agree with them either. I want to just say, that's their stuff, that I've got to focus on my side of the street. And if you're trying to manifest a life you love, you're better off ignoring them than you are spending a lot of time focusing on defending yourself. Because when you defend yourself, you are focused on what you don't want rather than what you want. It's so hard. I know it's so hard because it sucks when people don't agree with you. It sucks. It makes us doubt ourselves. It makes us fearful. But the truth is, there's two platforms on which to stand in every interaction. And whatever platform you're standing on, you're standing fully on. So you're either completely standing on the platform of fear, or you're completely standing on the platform of love. There is no straddling the middle ground. I teach this all the time. If you want to create a life that you love and attract things that you love, you have to just keep focusing on what you want. And then people will say, oh, what about the people in my life? What about the people that I love in my life that tell me that the law of attraction is BS and I'm wasting my time and I'm better off focusing on other things? The truth is, your light is always going to bring shadow and it's always going to bring light. So you have to find a tool or use a thought that makes that manageable. You can't run far and fast enough to hide from these people. You just can't, because no matter what you do, they'll show up. You don't necessarily want to marry them, but if you're married to them, that doesn't mean that it's the end of that relationship. It is easier to be among people who agree with you, but you're never going to have that all the time. If you ever listen to Abraham Hicks, they talk all the time about the three parts of the law of attraction. And the law of attraction, the first part is like things are drawn together. We know that like things are drawn together, birds of a feather flock together. Every thought that you have will attract similar thoughts. The second part of the law of attraction is that you can focus on what you want specifically to attract it to you. But you can't just think about it. You have to actually find a way to feel it. And I think that's where we really get tripped up, because sometimes we're like, oh, I'm going to just think about attracting money. And the more I'm going to think about attracting money, the more money I'm going to have. Oh, I'm just going to think about attracting my partner. I'm just going to spend all my time thinking about, I'm attracting a partner, I'm attracting money, I'm attracting whatever it is you're trying to, a trip, or attracting goodwill, whatever it is you're trying to attract. Just thinking about it actually doesn't necessarily mean you're going to attract it to you, because if you're just thinking about it, chances are you're wanting it and not believing in it. You're wanting it and not being it. You're wanting it and fearing that you can't have it. So that's just not enough, right? So the second part of the law of attraction really is the knowledge that your thoughts are creative, and that the more you think about what you want, the more you're aligned with attracting it. But there is a very big caveat, because you have to think about what you want in a way that feels good. The third and most important part is what they call the art of allowing. And that sounds like you're saying you're allowing them to do whatever they want. But the truth of what it is the art of focusing on yourself and ignoring what they say, no matter how that feels, no matter how they don't believe in you. The only one that you have to really have believe in you is you. You are the most important person in your life. And if you don't believe in yourself, I promise you, you're going to attract people who don't believe in you. But more importantly, you're not poised. You're absolutely not poised to get what you want. So if you're going through life and someone makes a comment that makes you feel bad, you have to remember a few things. The first thing is, everybody sees everything through the eyes and the lens of their own perspective. That means that everyone sees everything through the lens of what their fears are, what their loves are. Everyone sees everything through the lens of their wants and needs. Most of us are not walking around thinking about the other all that much. Everyone is walking around projecting their fear and extending their love. A Course in Miracles says every loving thought is true. Everything else is an appeal for healing and help, regardless of the form that it takes. We cannot worry about the people who don't like us, because they have their own healing to do. We cannot spend a lot of time fighting those people who troll us. It's just going to waste our time. But if we are quiet and we don't put ourselves out there, the people who need us won't find us. In my defenselessness, my safety lies is a tough requirement. It has to mean I'm willing to let go of of what they believe. I think that in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the top of it is really just like the self-actualization is letting go of the good opinion of others, of what others think about me. And that is so hard. But the thing is, it's absolutely attainable. It's absolutely attainable, because we know that's what the big movie stars are doing. They're having to let go of what other people think about them. They have to stay focused on what they want to create. So if you're trying to create something, and the people in your life are not supporting you, that does not mean that you cannot create it. It means you have some manifesting work to do to attract the right support, to believe in yourself, to see it for yourself. I remember when I was young, I said, oh, I want to write a book. And someone said, well, you're too young to write a book. What would you possibly have to say? And the next day I was searching through a library, because back then that's where we went to get our books. And there was a book called Less Than Zero. And I found out it was written by a man who was 21 years old, and it was turned into a movie. So there's always going to be someone out there that's going to want to tell you why what you're doing is wrong. There's always going to be, if you look hard enough, someone who's not going to believe in you. But when you start believing in you, you'll find those people who believe in you too. So we can try the best that we can to limit those people in our lives. If they're in our lives directly, you can do your best to take those people out, or limit your activities with people who don't support you. But sometimes that's really hard to do. Your time is better spent developing your tribe, finding those people who support and love you, finding those people who shine the same way you do and believe in what you believe. If you're trying to manifest and the people around you are not in agreement with you, or telling you how you're wasting your time, and you really think that that's possible for you, your time is better spent listening to podcasts like this one, and finding a support group, finding a group of friends. Ask the universe to send them to you. Say, I'm so excited about the friends that are coming to me, that are going to help me manifest everything I want. Ask the universe for it. Ask in this way: thank you for sending me You can even say thank you for all of the support that you've sent me, because it's out there. If it's not materialized, that doesn't mean it's not out there. It doesn't mean it can't come to you. You just have to say the words. Thank you for this wonderful support I have. The other thing is, find some things that keep you focused. What tools do you use to keep yourself focused on creating what you want rather than noticing what you don't want? What tools do you use to keep yourself on the path? And if you're struggling with that, go to my website. I have a ton of tools there that can help you. There's so much out there in the universe that can help you stay focused on being a conscious creator rather than a reactor in fear. And then the other thing is that, remember, have some self-care rituals. Take care of yourself in a way where you recognize that you are going to protect your energy from those people who will say those things. You're always going to find people who, if you are on this consciousness journey, who are going to tell you you're a Pollyanna, you're not good enough, that you're on the woo-woo path and you're insane, you're wasting your time, you're not working hard enough, or whatever it is that they're going to tell you. But remember, manifesting is really a personal journey. And you have the power within you right now to create everything that you want. And it starts by believing in yourself and ignoring the people who tell you you're delusional, because you'll find them. I'm going to tell you that you're going to find them. And if you want to believe in yourself and to believe that manifesting a life you love is possible, keep listening to this podcast and listen to other podcasts out there that remind you that you are a creator of your experience, a co-creator with the force that moves mountains, a co-creator with the source of energy that creates worlds that's in you. You don't have to go anywhere out there. You don't have to download it. You don't have to ask for it to come in. It's right there. All you have to do is find a way to feel joyful in this moment. Find a way to focus on joy. Find a way to focus on at least being content. Obviously we have things in our lives that take away our joy. There's difficult things that happen. People get sick, people die. Stuff happens, but that doesn't mean you can't find relief. It doesn't mean that you can't find a way to feel better right now. That's what manifesting is. I always say this: manifesting is healing. It's healing your mindset. It's healing your mindset so that you're aligned with your power, not with your fear. And I'll say it again: manifesting is healing your mindset so you're aligned with your power, not some power out there. The power in you right now, the light that's in you right now. You don't have to go anywhere to find it. One of the things I love about YouTube is it has tons of comedians on it. If I'm really feeling low and I want to change my vibration and I'm not feeling like I want to meditate, or I'm not feeling like I want to use a tool, I go watch some of my favorite comedians and it raises my vibration. That's a simple manifesting trick that you can use that's so much easier than doing a focus wheel. That doesn't mean I don't love focus wheels and I don't think they're important, or all the other tools that I use. But YouTube's great. Fine. Comedians are great. And I have so many comedian friends that you can watch. But regardless, remember that not everybody has to like you, but you have to like you. And you don't have to agree with people who tell you you're delusional. You don't have to agree with people, but you have to find that place inside of you that says, it's more important for me to create a life I love than to worry about what they think. It's amazing to me because I have children and I listen to my daughter sometimes and I think, wow, I'm so grateful I don't care about what they think anymore, because that's what we do when we're young. We grow, we really do care, especially when you're in school, about what they think and what they're wearing and what everybody else is doing. And we want to not be too different from everybody. We want to be accepted. And then when you get older, that's less and less important. And I'm so grateful that I'm at a time where that just doesn't matter anymore. But it does come up from time to time. I'm human. And so we all are human. We all have these experiences. And I want you to remember it doesn't matter what they say. Just keep remembering that you are a conscious creator and you're going to focus on what you love, not what you fear. And if you'd like help doing that, check out my website. I have 7 days to a new you. It's a boot camp for energy. It's a boot camp for your thinking. It's a boot camp to align your thinking with your power in 7 days. I always say, take 7 days off from making any major decisions. Take this boot camp and see how you feel at the end. I also have that program I suggest you do right after it. It's called 4 Steps to Miraculous Manifesting. And it's a great program to use right after you've cleaned out your energy. If you're in a relationship and you're struggling in it, you don't know if you want to stay or go, a great program that I have is 28 Days to Awesome Relationships. It's really a fundamentals class. It's not like the boot camp. The boot camp is about 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes of work in the afternoon, and 15 minutes in the evening. The 28 Days program is about setting your intentions in the morning and then thinking about them throughout the day, but I don't give you specific work to do. And then finally, I do have my Manifest Your Dreams program, which is with me. It's a 12-week program, and it can be done in a group or it can be done one-on-one. So check all of those out. I'll have them in the links if you're watching this on YouTube, and they're all on my website, which is kimmazzella.com. But regardless, remember that life is super short. So please be kind, have fun, and love everything. Thanks for listening.